guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Christina. In today's video, I'm going to give you guys some tips on self-care before vacation. It's so important because with traveling we can feel stressed and just have so much on our plate, but it's so important to take care of ourselves before vacation. So that way when we're on vacation we don't feel like that's when we can relax. Because I feel like we get so busy and we get just the stress of traveling and the stress of just getting ready and all of that just so bound up. By the time we're in the car or on the plane or whatever it may be, we're so stressed out. We don't feel relaxed. We feel relieved that we're there and that we got there, but we don't feel just relaxed beforehand. So I want to give you guys some tips on some self-care things that you can do so that you can ensure that you're going to not feel that like pre-travel and pre-vacation stress, because I know we all feel it. We all get that way at one point or another. So I want to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to not feel that way. So let's get into the video. Number one is pack ahead of time. Pack like 2 weeks in advance if you want, or pack a week in advance, just so that you're not last minute packing, because I feel like last minute packing, you get so stressed out. You're like, oh my gosh, I have all this to do, I have all this to pack, and I have to go, I have to get on the plane, I have to get in the car, we have a long drive ahead, we gotta get to the airport, and this, that, and the other, and you just feel very, very stressed if you wait to pack. I feel like it's just one more thing that you have to worry about, one more thing that you have to do, and that can be super stressful, and then you're feeling anxious, anxiety, and stress, and all the feelings. And I want you guys to be able to do these self-care tips so you don't feel that way. So pack ahead of time, pack in advance so you don't have to feel that way, because that's just stressful, and that is just not fun to feel that way. So if you pack ahead of time, it does help and knock that down. I want to talk though. I'm a last minute packer, but I don't like to pack the day of. I have to at least be like 2 days in advance, if not the day before, but I never can do it like the day of. But I like to do it the week of, which is fine, but at least do it like 3 to 4 days in advance. Don't wait till the last minute. If you have something that like has to go in last minute, that's one thing, but don't like wait to pack every single thing. You're bound to forget something, and that's going to stress you out even more, and you're bound to just be so stressed out that you just have anxiety over the whole trip, and that's not good. So do yourself a favor and pack before, and pack, like when I say before, pack at least 3 to 4 days before, if not a week. And if you need to pack 2 weeks in advance, pack 2 weeks in advance, just due to your schedule. Number two, and something that you can do like the night before or the week of, do a facial steamer. They're so relaxing, and it always helps me like relax and just get ready and just feel just that like everything just melts away. All the stress, the anxiety of packing, the anxiety of everything, it just melts away to where you feel just so good. So do a facial steamer if you have one. I highly recommend the Aria facial steamer. I know I've talked about them before. I love that brand. I'd love to work with them one day. They are just amazing. Love the brand, and this is not an ad, but I highly recommend that facial steamer. It's just so good. You just put some distilled water in it and turn it on, and it feels so amazing. So do a facial steamer before you go on vacation. It honestly will relax you and feel so good. I actually think I may do one tomorrow because it seriously feels amazing. Number three, and this kind of goes along with it, is do a face mask. I love Blue face mask. Another brand that I would love to work with one day, and you guys have heard me talk about them as well a lot of times. They're amazing. So do a face mask, whether that's Blue face mask, whether you go get a face mask at the store, whatever that is, do a face mask. They're so relaxing, and you can even like put the face mask on and pack and get ready for your trip if need be. and it's still relaxing, and it still helps you with doing some self-care before your busy day of traveling. So do a face mask because it honestly will relax you and make you feel so much better before that full day of traveling. Number 4 is work out the night before or the morning of. So go ahead and get your workout in either the morning of or the night before, just to have your body just physically ready for the trip and carrying your luggage and just being on your feet a lot that day. Make sure you go ahead and work out either the night before or the morning of. If you're in a time crunch, make sure you do it the night before, because I feel like so many of us, especially if you don't wake up super early, but even if you do, if you have like a later flight or you know that you're going to be leaving later, you could work out in the morning. So either work out the night before or the morning of. If you're not really a morning person like I'm not, probably the night before would be better for you. It's my recommendation. So just do what works for you and your body, because I feel like so many of us, if we're not a morning person, then it's really hard for us to get up anyway in the morning. It's going to be hard to work out before we leave because we're going to have everything else to do and getting ready and all that. And another tip is, and I didn't write this down, but don't put makeup on if you don't, like if you're having like a very long flight and you're going to be there like late at night, don't put makeup on, because you probably aren't going to want to take it off when you get to the hotel, and that's not good on your skin at all. So go ahead and just, if you have a later flight, if you have to go like work before you go or whatever, especially if you do like self-employed and you have to go in beforehand and you need to put a little bit of makeup on, fine, but go ahead and remove it before you leave, because it's just one less thing that you have to do when you get there. Hydrate the day before. You can get so dehydrated being on just a plane and being traveling all day, because a lot of times when we're traveling we don't carry our water bottles sometimes, and we just forget to drink, and then we feel so dehydrated. But hydrate the day before so that you are good and ready to go the day of, instead of feeling like you're dehydrated all day, because that's not good. And when you're in a plane and when you're traveling, you need to make sure that you are well hydrated. So go ahead and start the day before. Just start drinking the day before and make sure that you are really hydrated so that you feel good and you're not sluggish and you're not as tired while you're traveling. And it'll just help traveling so much better if you're hydrated, instead of waiting until you get to your destination, or you're in the car, you're in the plane, and you're trying to hydrate then. Yes, drink then, but go ahead and start the day before you get on that flight or in the car, just so that you're ahead of the game. Number 6 is get a good night's rest beforehand. Make sure you're getting enough sleep beforehand. Go to bed, and that's a part of like packing early and making sure the car is packed like the morning of the day before you leave. So then you can get to bed early and you're not last minute packing. That's a big thing, is go to bed early so that you are, if you have to drive, you're well rested and you won't fall asleep while driving. B, so you feel good and you're not grumpy and you're not irritable with the people that you're with. And also because you're going to need all the rest that you can get with the traveling, especially if you're flying and you're having to walk through airports, you're doing this, that, and the other, and like time zones and that sort of stuff for some people. Make sure that you are getting enough sleep the night before. It will make a huge difference. You'll feel so much better. You'll be good and rested and ready to go, and you won't feel like, I am exhausted and all I want to do is sleep on the plane. I'm not saying that you can't sleep on the plane. Go ahead and sleep on the plane, or you can sleep in the car as long as you're not driving. But if you want, I recommend having energy on the plane and in the car, and having a little bit of energy to where you're not constantly sleeping. So go ahead and get a good night's sleep before. Get 6 to 8 hours at least before you leave out, because then you'll be well rested and well ready to go, instead of feeling exhausted when you get there, or exhausted when you go and exhausted when you get there. because who wants to be exhausted when they get to their destination? Yes, you may feel tired, but if you get a good night's rest, you're less likely to feel like pure exhaustion once you get there, unless it's like a 24-hour flight or something, or a very long flight, and then you might. Number 7 is stretch. Stretch the night before and stretch the morning of, so that you can just feel your best, especially with, like, if you're in the car, you're on an airplane, or you're on a train, or whatever the transportation may be. You're probably not going to walk around that much, so you will feel stiff and just not as like agile as you normally would. But if you stretch the night before or the morning of, it'll help so much more, just feeling more agile and more just loose, and not feel so tight, and not feel just like, oh my gosh, I cannot do this, I've got to stand up, I gotta walk around. Which do walk around. If you're in an airplane, get up and walk around so you don't get blood clots, but make sure that you are stretching, just so that you don't feel as stiff on the plane or in the car, because it is very easy to feel super stiff if you're sitting for a very long period of time. I know I get that way. I know we all do. So make sure you're stretching the night before, and if you have time the morning of, I would try my hardest, even if you have to wake up 30 minutes earlier than you were planning. I would try to wake up a little bit earlier just so you could stretch before you leave. The last one, I kind of touched on this, is load up the car before. Make sure the car is loaded up the night before, so that you don't have to worry about that the morning of. I feel like that can be such a headache and cause so much anxiety and so much stress, to where if you want to take care of yourself, go ahead and pack the car the night before, because that way you have all your stuff and you don't have to worry about it, except for the necessities that you need that night. If you have things that you need that night, then go ahead, don't pack that, obviously, and don't pack that one bag, but everything else that you can pack the night before, because it'll make your life so much easier, and that's a great form of self-care, to make your life easier and to make it better, to where you don't have to pack every little thing at the morning of. So I hope I was able to give you guys some self-care tips and able to help you guys not feel as stressed when you're traveling. I hope this helps one of you or multiple of you. I hope this helps. So I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, comment any other videos you'd like to see, subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.